Why, hello YouTube. This is BalorMage again, bringing you a build update for our Poison SRS Necromancer. Now, if you haven't seen this video before or this build before, we've already got 2 videos out on it. One for the absolute budget leagues, like budget reroll version, the least amount you could possibly do. That one has leveling trees in it and everything, and the notes section is full of trade links to help you buy stuff. All of those answers are there, and we've also got one showcase video out of in quite good gear. This is just going to be a update because we've made quite a few changes, expensive changes. This is not for everyone. At this point, I'm already way beyond the ability to do all content in the game. Way beyond. I'm already doing way too much damage and I'm way too tanky. This is all just essentially pointless, but I'm making the character better and better and better because it's really fun to play. And so I've made some really good improvements and we're going to go through them. In the background you can see me here doing some 80% delirious skittering orb farming because it already does the sanctum for free guaranteed every time, and it already does all of the like Alk and Go style mapping at really good speed. So I wanted to see how it did proper juiced content. And the answer is, it does proper juiced content really well, and our Animate Guardian is never in any risk at all. I have accidentally made it 11% of the way through level 99 so far. Just hit that on stream today, just by playing, because the build nearly can't die. It is way too tanky now. So let's move in game. We'll go through some of the updates and I will show you what we've done in the path of building to represent all of our damage correctly. So jumping in game, here we are in game. As you might notice, we have given our Animate Guardian the Kingmaker now, so we have Fortify and Cull and some extra rarity. We have also given him a Garb of the Ephemeral, so we can't get crit and we can't get slowed and frozen and temp chains and all of that nonsense from the Animate Guardian. This does, in theory, technically make him a little bit squishier than my other setup. But to counter that, we went with a Divergent Animate Guardian to get a little bit more life on him. That being said, I've not ever seen him go below about 90% health. So very much not an issue. All of this will be in the path of building. The other changes we made, this is an important one. We got an Ools Uprising. Now, technically speaking, an Envy Ools would have been the best option. But in reality, we can use Envy, Haste, or Malevolence to fit an extra aura in quite comfortably. We can use a Determination one, but then we would need a Helm enchant for Haste or Malevolence or something else to counter the RMR, because if we got Determination for free, this mastery wouldn't work for us anymore, so we would need to counter that in a Helm enchant. Any of those Ools work. Again, Ools are very expensive, and this is all just extra stuff. You do not need any of this. It's just what I've done. So, getting a Ools for haste free meant I also got an Unset Ring, and I put haste and Val Haste in that, and that let me put Malevolence on my Divine Blessing. So now I have a Malevolence setup as well, which is just a lot more damage. Also, you might notice the shield, we've changed to Aegis Aurora. Now, you might be thinking, why are we Aegis Aurora, Baylor? We're Eldritch Battery. All of our energy shield is just mana. Well, I also took Mind over Matter, and between the Aegis Aurora and Divine Shield, at least while mapping, I have infinite mana, or infinite energy shield, because that's just how Aegis Aurora works when you're block capped. It is ridiculously high. So I take 40% of my damage from the energy shield. So I can take up to 1400 less damage for each individual hit. No more than that for one single hit, because it will use all of the energy shield and then all my damage will go to their life. But the energy shield just infinitely recovers and is always full. So essentially, at least while mapping, I'm just taking a flat 40% less damage because of this. And I never run out of mana, which is absolutely fantastic. So we made that change, and also at level 98, when we put on the Kingmaker, the Garb of Ephemeral, things like that, and we made our Animate Guardian a little bit squishier, but also worth like 8 or 9 divines, I ended up taking this mastery for recover 5% of minion life on minion death. This actually applies anytime SRS dies, anytime SRS expires, or anytime we replace SRS. So with those, any of those will give a 5% maximum life to all my currently summoned things, which is fantastic. That's basically just going to guarantee that our Animate Guardian lives forever. Right, moving into our Path of Building. Our current DPS is 51.2 million. That's what Path of Building says. It's actually higher than that, but I'm going to call it 51 million to avoid people claiming fake, but I'm going to explain what's going on here. So full dot DPS is 791,394. That is the absolute maximum that you can technically do in dot DPS. We even get the warning here, full dot DPS exceeds in-game limit. I am not 100% convinced that this is true. I suspect that that limit is like either per ailment or per thing applying the ailments, because I hit this cap quite a bit ago in gear, and getting more gear upgrades and putting malevolence on and stuff like that hasn't increased my damage further. So what I think is happening is that this is the full like single dot DPS that you could do from like one skill or one ability or one hit. And because we've got 20 SRSs, we're exceeding that. That's what I think is happening, but I'm not 100% certain. So all we can really do is we can put our Summon Raging Spirits to, oh, that's level. Excuse me. We can put our Summon Raging Spirits to level 1 or to count 1. And we can see that we do 3 million total DPS per Summon Raging Spirit. So if that's right, and it's happening the way I think it's happening, then we're actually doing closer to 60 million DPS. If Path of Building is right, and all sources of dot combined have one single limit on a mob, then we're hitting that limit and only doing 51 and not 60. I'm really not sure which one we're doing, 51 million or 60 million. I don't know. But what have we done to make the DPS look so high? It actually took quite a while to work everything out. This section over here is actually giving us all of the things that our Animate Guardian give, but not quite all of them. So we've got, you can apply an additional curse because he can apply an additional curse, not us. We've got this, your nearby allies add chaos damage, because that's just the helmet that we've got does that. And nearby enemies have -10 chaos res because they do, because of the helmet. We have fortify, and then defensively he gives a lot of extra stuff from the ephemeral garb. I haven't put any of that into the Path of Building, so our effective health pool, our physical mitigate, our stuff should be tankier than this, but I haven't put the defenses in. So there's a few things we couldn't do. One, I couldn't get the Animate Guardian to apply temp chains in Path of Building. He is applying temp chains all the time. I see all the mobs explode. Couldn't make it happen. Also couldn't make cull work. So what I did to make both of those things happen is I put a level 1 culling strike in with Summon Raging Spirits so that we would get the cull, which is quite a significant amount of extra damage. It's important when you do this that you make a level 1 culling strike, because level 1 culling strike doesn't come with any damage multipliers. When you level it, it has an increased damage on it, so that increased damage will throw off your Path of Building. It has to be level 1, level it all the way down to level 1. That's the only way I can figure out how to get cull in, which we have because of the Kingmaker. We also have down here just a level 1 temp chains just put into the build, because it is literally 10 million DPS that the level 1 temp chains goes on, and it always goes on every boss. This isn't clear DPS. It's not always on your it isn't always on when you're map clearing and whatnot, but anytime you fight any boss, there is always a temp chains on from the Animate Guardian, but I can't make him apply it in Path of Building. So we do have this level 1 temp chains with no quality. That's what the gloves give. It is just a level 1, no quality. That's it. That's fine. As far as damage is concerned, it actually doesn't matter if we had a level 21 or a level 20, the damage doesn't change. So temp chains is very, very strong for poison. So that's that. And that is how we've gotten to 51 million DPS, or potentially 60, who knows, and a 227,000 effective health pool, and how we've progressed all the way to level 99 basically by accident, doing super juiced content all solo. This is a fantastic build. I am enjoying it immensely. Honestly, I'm probably going to farm out a mage blood and min-max the absolute shit out of it with the mage blood on. So there'll probably be one more video update on this build of like just a disgustingly over min-maxed for no good reason version of it. I expect that to come too. All right, that is everything, and I will see everybody next time. Goodbye.